Trade rumors regarding Ja Morant and the Toronto Raptors have started to escalate over the past 24 hours. As we discussed in a previous video, the Raptors have struggled at the point guard spot so far this season. We know Bobby Webster likes to make big moves, and the Raptors have the capability of putting together a package that would be enticing for the Memphis Grizzlies given this current situation. And things have only got crazier for the Memphis Grizzlies over the past couple of days, so we'll break that down, including some new reports and what the actual truth and probability of Ja Morant getting traded, and especially to the Toronto Raptors, is in this video. So lots of stuff to break down, but folks, I appreciate every single one of you that has been hitting the subscribe button as of late. It means the world to me. We are very, very close to 40,000 subscribers, and still over 53% of our viewers have not hit the subscribe button just yet. So make sure you guys hit that sub button if you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with this Toronto Raptors team. But let's dive into it, because of course, there's a lot of people, I read the comments on our last vid, that are interested in the Raptors trading for Ja Morant, who just made his whole situation even crazier, because as we brought up in that previous video, Ja Morant was suspended for the game against the Toronto Raptors, ironically enough, due to conduct detrimental for the team. And he came out in a post-game presser and was like, oh, you gotta ask the coaches, they don't want me to play, it's annoying and stuff. And he got suspended, made a tweet like, go Grizz and stuff. Everyone thought it'd be fine. And then Ja Morant essentially doubled down on the drama regarding this squad, regarding this team, as he came out in another interview and discussed his continued frustrations, coming out and saying, when a reporter asked him, do you feel like everything has been resolved? He said, yeah, they told you that, right? And, referring to the coaching staff, the organization and stuff. And the reporter says, do you feel the same joy right now playing basketball? And Ja Morant responded bluntly, saying no. And what can you do to get that back? And he said, we shall see. So Ja Morant is still very, very frustrated with everything that's going on. And Shams Charania has revealed that teams across the NBA are monitoring this situation, keeping an eye on where the relationship stands between Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, what's going on with the Raptors? Why are we making this up in a Raptors video, bringing this up for a Raptors video? Well, there's a couple of notes, messages, whatever, that have gone viral over the past day or so, which really has some Raptors fans fired up. As essentially, Legion Hoops tweeted this out, that the Raptors are to monitor the Ja Morant situation with the Memphis Grizzlies, per Evan Sideri. So this is something I was sent. A bunch of people want to discuss it, dive into it, because, of course, this is an important piece of discourse amongst the Raptors community right now, as a lot of people have been disappointed in Immanuel Quickley's performance so far this season. Essentially, what this report was, or this discussion was from Sideri, was he came out and said that the Raptors will be another team to monitor for a potential pursuit of Ja Morant. Toronto has the salaries and the picks to make an appealing trade offer to the Grizzlies if the relationship with Morant worsens. Toronto shopped RJ Barrett and Immanuel Quickley over the course of the offseason. Now, I will say this at the jump. I do not want to see RJ Barrett traded, especially to Ja. I know Ja Morant's the more talented player and stuff. I don't want to see RJ Barrett traded. I don't want to see him trade in a Ja Morant trade. I'm coming out and stating that here right now. I do not want to see that happen. RJ Barrett's been fitting really, really well in with this group, so let's turn the key on that. But the Raptors, regardless of RJ Barrett being in the mix, they have a lot of pieces out there on this roster, a lot of contracts to make a salary match happen, with sending value back to the Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, we have all of our draft picks, and then, of course, you have Immanuel Quickley, who will be, starting point guard down there for Memphis, and then lots of young guys that are fighting for minutes and just haven't really got a ton of opportunities this season to get consistent run. Ochai Agbaji, Gradey Dick, Jacoby Walter. Again, you don't want to be dangling them out there in trade talks just willy-nilly, but those are definitely pieces you could attach for a Ja Morant trade. So that's all stuff that's being brought up. The Raptors are being named by Legion Hoops. What's the realistic possibility of this going down? Well, we got some more insight in terms of everything that's going on in this situation. So Chris Mannix came out and discussed how going full rebuild may be out of the question for the Memphis Grizzlies, as they don't want to do that right now. They believe that Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. tandem is the foundation of a contender. They believe a return to health in Memphis already has been decimated by injuries this season will lead to wins. This isn't a team looking to sell Morant. This is a team that's looking to use its assets it has, including the bag of first-round picks that they acquired from the Orlando Magic in the Desmond Bane trade last summer, to add pieces around him. So even though Ja Morant is publicly tarnishing his relationship out there with the Memphis Grizzlies. Behind the scenes, Chris Mannix, a guy that's pretty locked in out there with the Memphis organization, has come out and basically said, no, the Memphis Grizzlies are trying to at least see what's happening going forward and get wins. Now, in the NBA, we've seen star players force their way out of situations just like that. So if it continues to worsen, then that's definitely something that can change on the instant. But we also had this piece of insight. So Mark Spears came out and said that 4 of the execs I talked to said that they really have no interest in trading for him. One said it was because a combo of contract and off-the-court issues. Another suggested that Ja is traded. It'll probably be for another problem star, for a problem star. And I asked a current NBA coach if he would like to coach Ja Morant, and he said, I'm not sure I'd want to. So this aligns with the report that we heard from Brian Windhorst in regards to Ja Morant not having a crazy trade market, a massive market out there, and, if he does get shopped by the Memphis Grizzlies. So things are getting very, very interesting on that front. Now, something has to be noted. Ja Morant, in a down season for him, is still averaging 20 points per game, 7 assists, 3.6 rebounds. In previous seasons, he was 27 points per game and stuff, slashing, doing all these great acrobatic stuff, but right now is shooting 14% from behind the three-point line and hasn't been efficient, has shown a lack of energy out there on the basketball court, has looked a little bit lethargic. So there's two ways to look at this. You can look at it as Ja Morant is an undervalued asset right now, a guy that has that superstar face of the league potential, but is, through a combination of injuries, off the court stuff, and now drama within the Memphis organization, with him and the whoever he's mad at out there in that front office. This is an opportunity to buy low on someone that can really take your team, take your roster to the next level. You insert Ja Morant there at the point guard position, that only elevates your offense to the next level. I mean, I know Immanuel Quickley is the better on paper, skill fit, right? Like a guard that can facilitate and shoot and stuff. Doesn't need the ball in his hands a ton. But the talent upgrade of Ja Morant over Immanuel Quickley is just crazy. Now, statistically, again, Ja's averaging more points and stuff, but IQ hasn't been that great efficient himself. He only 28% from the three-point line, but averaging 13 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds per night, only shooting 11% out there on corner threes. But IQ, the fits there and stuff. Ja Morant is a significant talent upgrade over Immanuel Quickley. It can't be argued there at this point. You could argue injuries. You could argue how quickly he'll fall off. Right now, it's inarguable that Ja Morant is certainly the talent upgrade in between these two players. But the off-the-court headaches and stuff, that is something that you seriously have to factor in. This team, this Toronto Raptors team, was built on vibes. It was built on high-character people out there in these in the locker room, and the team has started to come back and come back around winning. I mean, it's not perfect. Again, we had a horrible start to the season. I'm still not sold on the Raptors' front court depth, but 4-4 out there in the Eastern Conference, and you got through a bloodbath of the schedule so far. You have an opportunity here now over the next couple of weeks to really establish a winning record. Again, there's some awesome teams out there in the mix. The Cavs are getting Darius Garland back soon. The Sixers have been one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, but there are a lot of teams that are bottom feeders here right now. The Hornets a couple times, the Wizards, the Brooklyn Nets, Pacers. All these teams have been struggling. Heck, even the Hawks we smoked in Game 1. So not saying this is going to be a cakewalk over the next couple weeks, but you have a legitimate opportunity to establish a winning record out there in the Eastern Conference. To go on a little bit of a run and really see how this roster is going to look. So if the Raptors struggle against these bottom tier teams, then I think these reports and stuff, and if Ja continues to isolate himself from the Grizzlies organization, I think these are going to heat back up. But I think these reports now that got everyone fired up over the past 24 hours, I don't think it's going to amount to much in the short term. But again, the trade deadline is still months away. We have a lot of basketball to play and a lot of dramatic quotes coming out from Ja Morant to make this more and more likely if it ever were to happen. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. You guys best think as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.